All right, guys, what's going on? Justin from 79 Productions, and today we are gonna be taking this for its first drive. We're not gonna go too far because I don't have I need to get the car registered and I need to go through it a little more. There's a couple of small things that the car needs, but we're just parking lot driving it right now and making sure it stops. You know, the brakes work. The brakes work fine. So yeah, I do notice that I'm going to need a passenger CV axle, but those are things I'm gonna figure out once I drive the car a little more. And yeah, so there's gonna be a couple of things I gotta do to it. I gotta change the passenger CV axle, but I already found one of those on Facebook Marketplace for 10 bucks, so I'll go pick that up. But yeah, the car runs and drives, and for $300 I cannot complain. I have a total of $300 into this car, guys. If you haven't seen part one, not part one, but if you haven't seen the rebuild video of this, I have a video up of it. It's called the $300 Civic Junkyard Rescue, and I do the entire complete build on this car, and I spent only $300 into the car between buying it for $200. I sold the wheels off of it for $150, and I picked up an engine for $50, and I went and bought these wheels for $50. The wheels that are on it now for $100. So you know, I had 300, if not under 300 into it. But yeah, it runs and drives. So we're gonna do a little pull before this speed bump right here. Let's turn around real quick. We don't want to keep driving this thing. Just wanted to give it a little feel around, and let's turn around over here. Just give a little quick drive and put it through the gears and stuff. And you know, I'm gonna have to go through and check everything out. The tie rod on the passenger side, the outer tie rod is I need to change that as well, but I ordered that off of eBay for $9. So yeah, there's a couple of little things. Now, if you guys look inside the car, I don't have the door panels on, and I don't have these I don't have the speedometer cluster. What I did was I took this out because someone painted everything white in here, so I'm gonna take that off and I'm gonna paint it gray again, and I'm gonna go through it and clean everything up. If you look, this stuff is painted white too. The paint just flakes right off. They didn't do it right, but you know what? I mean, for what it is, I can't complain. Like I said, I only have $300 into the car. So, and if you haven't checked out that video, go check it out. You'll really like it, and it'll just show you guys what you can do to a car if you want to put a lot of elbow grease into it. And you know, you can find these cars pretty cheap. And the D series engines, like, guys, people are giving these things away. Like, I've been offered to come pick up engines. Hey man, if you want this engine, you could come have it. I'm doing a B swap. People give the engines away. So, you know, fixing a D series, they're really not expensive. And a lot of the times, like, when someone's even if they're trying to sell an engine for like $200, $300, most of the times if you offer them 50 bucks, 100 bucks, they'll take it anyway. So yeah, these cars are not expensive at all to build. And you know, if you look at it, you know, I got 300 bucks into the car, and you know, it's a little beater car. It needs some body work. I mean, I scuffed it and painted it with Rust-Oleum because I knew the quarters and stuff were damaged. I'll show you that right now. Let's get outside and I'll show you it right now. All right, guys, so here's the outside of the car, and you know, it's not in the best of shape, but you know what, for what it is, like I said, it's a Rust-Oleum paint job. I try to get this dent out as much as I could. That looks straight, but the bottom's kind of wavy. But you know, other than that, it doesn't look terrible. And I need to pick up another light for the other side. I actually already have the light. I don't have it, but someone said they're gonna give me the light. I have to go pick it up. But yeah, it's a $300 car. I have the bumper inside there, and you know, the interior, I got the door panels and the dash stuff, inside, and I need to put all of that stuff on. But like I said, I wanted to get all this white paint off and paint it gray. And yeah, so for a $300 car, guys, I really can't complain. I got the valve cover gasket for it when I put the engine in. The valve cover gasket's leaking, but when I put the engine in, I painted it, and I was planning on wrinkle redding the valve cover anyways. I sprayed some wrinkle red on it, and you know, I mean, that's why I haven't put the valve cover gasket. So I'm gonna do a paint job on the valve cover. And in the junkyard, I need to find this. The cap broke. I mean, it was like that when I got it. It doesn't affect the way it runs or anything, and it's not leaking oil, but I just don't like seeing that. And it's only like, it's $5 in the junkyard, and I have another another distributor laying around, so I'm gonna do all of that. I gotta hook up the wiring to the headlights. Now, guys, this car, it's been sitting for a while because, you know, I got the blue car. I got the blue Civic, and I'll give you guys an update on that later, but I got the blue Civic, so I haven't really been doing anything with this car, and I just let it sit there. You know, I got it running a while ago, but I didn't bleed the clutch or any of that stuff, and you know, it's been sitting for no reason, you know. So, but yeah, first drive, I'm really excited about that. $300 in total went to the car between buying it, fixing it up, and you know, getting cheap parts from everywhere. And yeah, it's an awesome feeling. But that's it, guys. I'm gonna wrap the video up here. If you would like to support the channel, you can pick up a t-shirt or vinyl decals. The link will be in the description. And yeah, so if you haven't yet, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at 79 Productions, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. God bless you guys.